Interesting.
Hey, Risen, you know what makes our show different than other shows on the internet?
What?
Sometimes we record 2 minutes of dead ass air
Oh, shit.
just so I can have fun with a beginning thing like this.
Oh, I didn't even realize you were recording. No, I'm sitting here just looking. I was like, wow, that's interesting. A 2019 study in the American Political Science Review found that stations bought by Sinclair reduced coverage of local policies or local politics.
Well, yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, so anyway, that's what we're talking about tonight. Yay!
Risen, chock full of bummers.
Good evening. It is April 6th? April 6th, 2022. I forgot to say the date last night.
That's right.
Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily
with
source for
100%
news
less Boomer
and
Rex.
politics. Yeah, we once again are shy of Boomer Rex, but hopefully we'll have him back tomorrow. So, we're kind of racking our brains, and we decided that tonight we wanted to discuss the media. It's a big topic right now where people are less sure who they can trust, and why they shouldn't be able, why they should or shouldn't.
They're trying to
trust
sell
them.
you soap.
Oh my god, yeah.
Period. Fucking dot. Like they never stop doing that too. Like,
Well, and okay, so we did a bunch of interesting research, and so newspapers, right? That's where a lot of investigative reporting and journalism and that sort of stuff.
the three of them that still exist, yeah, but
But that's where a lot of it used to be.
Mhm.
So as those started to go out of existence or become these digital, companies, they're making significantly less money than when they were selling newspapers.
oh, for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not actually making a thing and driving the trucks and delivering a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're hoping someone clicks on it and gets some number of impressions. And if they're anything like me, they either don't, right, they live in an internet where there aren't ads because fuck you, that's not that hard, or
Right.
they
So-
absolutely will die before they click on an ad.
So let's just start off with some of
Click
the
on it.
basics here
Except ours. Click on all of ours.
before we get into the big thing. So one of the things that's kind of going to lead up to one of the more concerning aspects of our discussion tonight is native advertising and sponsored content. So these two things are similar yet different. Native advertising is where so you're on your favorite news site and you see a headline and you click on it and you read this story. Now, this very well hidden story is actually an advertisement that was paid for by a company. And that's called native advertising because it hides as a news story, even though it is not actually a news story. And they are very difficult to pinpoint. Now, supposedly, they're technically supposed to state that it is sponsored content and stuff like that, but you really have to look to see these tiny little mentions of sponsored content or native advertising or whatever. So it makes it very difficult to tell the difference between, is this a real news story or is this just somebody's opinion on their product or a city, or do you know what I mean? Like, is this just paid advertising?
But only in a completely academic way, because my interaction with news sources is effectively spearfishing. Like, I'm here for one article and I'm gone. Like,
well, but can you say that you are an average user?
No, I
of,
agree.
Yeah. So my point is that someone like me would stumble across something like that and not necessarily be able to tell that this is a product advertisement or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, this is also problematic on, those lovely morning shows, your news morning shows you love to watch.
yeah.
And then they have these products that they push.
I was going to say, all of the ones I have seen of late have gone so far beyond, and they are into actively fuck you QVC shit. And, like, in the not entirely rude way.
Well, even that fun daytime television show,
Yeah.
that talk show that you watch, The View,
Yeah.
the
All of them have some
Kelly
Price is
and
Right
Regis,
fucking amount of, like, shit garbage to buy.
No, it's not Kelly and Regis anymore, but whatever. That Kelly show.
I don't
But
know.
my point is that all those daytime talk shows, Ellen used to do it, like Oprah used to do it. Everybody does it. And they try to sell you these products. Dr. Oz was terrible about it. But these shows will push these products. Model. So that's one thing, because you kind of expect it when you're watching a show like that, right? It's different now that it's started to push its way into our news, because you trust your local news. Well, maybe not you, but I used to trust my local news people because I saw them every day. They, they're like friends. And
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, I had a really weird relationship with one of my news desk people, because she used to, when I worked at McDonald's, she used to come through like on the regs. So I knew her personally. Right. Because she would buy food and we would chit chat a bit. She had kids. It was fun. She was a very nice person. But so I had kind of an interesting relationship in that sense. But these people are in your house every day. They're telling you what's going on in your community and the world. And now they're selling you stuff. So you figure these people have been on the news or have been doing this for 10 years. They would never try to sell me something bad. And the problem is that it is super easy to get on these shows to push a product.
Works. Yeah. No,
you don't need to have any evidence to prove that your product works or that it's good, and they like to use terms like it's acknowledged by the FDA. Acknowledged doesn't mean
a whole pile of terms.
Acknowledged does not mean that it is accepted by or has been agreed upon as a good thing or anything like that. It's a match grade
barrel. It's one of those phrases that has no legal definition, so fuck right off.
Aggressively do your research, right? If you see a product and it looks good, shit. My point is,
unless we tell you to buy it, then buy it.
No. But
remember, like, comment, subscribe, and sign up for the Patreon so we can get an airship.
Go to our Patreon, because we discussed a little bit about this on our pregame show. But anyway, it's just very frustrating because...
Go to our Patreon, because I need a fucking airship painted like my dead cat.
By the way, for those of you who are listening who have been to our Patreon and weren't quite sure, I've changed some of the stuff. So there's different things. There's some new stuff there for you, so go check it out. BoomerRexTonight, no spaces, on Facebook, and you click on, I post every night, I post our pregame show, so you click on that and it will take you to our Patreon and you can sign up there.
But no, so much of this is, right, I've been sitting here listening and thinking about, I originally wanted to say it was the AM radioification of television, except it's not. It's, right, the social mediaization of...
Exactly. No, and it's very problematic in today's day and age, because, and maybe not so much for the younger like Gen Z crowd, and our crowd tends to be more skeptical, the older millennials, but I feel like, we still got a lot of boomers who are getting fucked out of money for no reason. We still got a lot of younger millennials who maybe didn't understand media the way the older ones do, or how that crossover happened. I don't know. I just look at younger millennials as like, messed up older millennials. Like, I don't know. We went through different shit.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
Well, we know that Facebook advertising works. That's part of the... My bigger concern would be we're heading back into the time most related to, say, when Warner Brothers and the other big film houses were the big film house, right? When the studios did some things, right? There's some people the studios may have bumped off. I don't know, but it's a center of gravity for an amount of information, and right, we know with advertising you can dial down to very scary levels.
Right. No, and the term clickbait is now different, because those advertising stuff, people don't click on that. It's like 0.14% purposefully click on that. Everybody else, it's a fucking accident, right? Yep. And those are those big ads that when you're scrolling through, you accidentally hit because it's fucking dumb. But That is annoying
in
as
digital
shit.
marketing will tell you they know half of their budget is wasted. Now just tell them which half.
Right. And I think that this whole native advertising is disturbing to me in the sense of, holy shit, now I'm worried. About
it's everyone
lot
getting
of stuff that I'm reading.
It's everyone getting in on QVC's fucking trick of
Right.
getting in your house, making friends, and then explaining why you need to buy 30 fucking knives.
Right, and all we want is $1, and we're going to tell you the truth straight up, and then we'll tell you our opinion. But you'll get the facts first, or after, depending on our meaning. But the point is that we're honest, and we're honest about our opinions.
If you give me an airship, I'll throw presents on homeless children and anvils on Wall Street.
God, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
I don't know how many, anvils fits in 100 tons, but we can find out.
We could fit a reasonable amount.
I feel like. Because, they don't even have to be that big.
They don't even have to be anvils. They can just be little bricks.
That's right, just walk cinder blocks out.
Oh, those are cheap, man. Why would we buy expensive anvils? They could sell those.
We obviously need money to figure out ballistic characteristics of cinder blocks.
Yeah, because then we could guide it just right, and boom, right on
no
dum
one's
dum.
aloft. Anyway, so meanwhile, back at
we're not going to squish people with
or throw
fucking
cinder blocks from high things to the internet.
Don't
obviously,
do that. That's not okay.
we are not your cinder block supervisors.
No, but the point is that there's a lot of concern, and there's a lot of talk right now about media bias and fake news and blah blah blah. Now the problem is a lot of this media bias and fake news shouting and blah 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 is coming from one very particular side of the aisle, and I will say it.
That's a tactical move.
Republicans.
Hey, that's a tactical move. It's fine. It's bullshit that it wins. Right, the media ought to just slap them down and break a couple, but the refs are part of the game and they're working the ref. It's bad and we should follow suit. But that's me. I'm an asshole.
Fair.
No, it's more that this allows corporations who are incredibly bad at PR stuff to, simply by driving how the discussion is framed, avoid taking positions that would fuck them up, or they'd have to have some horrible dead in the eyes corporate PR response. And they know those don't work. They look right, everyone laughs at them and they hate that part.
Right.
So
all right, so let's get into the real meat and bones of this, which is a company I'm not sure many of you have heard of, Sinclair Broadcast Group. So the Sinclair Broadcast Group is a Republican-leaning company that supports Donald Trump and, all things Republican. So... and, hates all things lib. So here's part of the problem with this company is they own or have control over approximately 70% of all media companies in America. So anything you watch on TV, about 70% of it, Sinclair has their hands on in some manner. Now, the way they are able to do this is because technically, is it the CDC? No. What is it?
likely the FCC.
Yes, the FCC. Thank you. There's so many. We talk about so many of these different acronyms and such. Anyway,
Don't judge you, monkey.
So they say you can only own 39%. Now, the key is own. So what they do is, like, they recently bought the Tribune. And it's not the Tribune, it's Tribune, the company. So they recently bought that and in turn sold some of their stuff while making agreements with these companies that they sold these assets to, that they would still have control over what was being shown and what was being played and such. So technically they still own it.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they can
this is
play that game. That's
adaptation
real
of the lie franchising does for Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, Domino's, one of the pizza kids got in trouble for yeah, no, they're independently owned and operated and franchised and whatever. Except their payroll and punishment was all done via corporate.
That's
and
weird.
That makes you not a franchise.
No, not at all.
So
a lot of the stations, you might be surprised. So you can go to, if you Google, Sinclair Broadcast Group, and does Sinclair Broadcast Group own whatever your local station is, and Wikipedia will tell you. But some of the major ones that they own are, of course, Fox, oddly enough, NBC, CBS, ABC, My Network TV, and the CW. So those are all very well known, and trusted sources, all owned by the same company. Now, one of the things that the Sinclair Broadcast Group likes to do to the local, news companies that they own is they have these segments that are called must runs, okay, where the people have to lead into the segment by saying certain lines and such, and then they play a segment that is made specifically by the Sinclair Group, specifically for the Sinclair Group's whatever political thing they're trying to push, or whatever, issue they have that they want to make known. So you might have actually seen some of these on your local news, and you wouldn't even know it unless you knew that they were owned by the Sinclair, and could kind of watch and say, is this like all the other stuff I'm watching?
70% you almost certainly have. And again, the examples of the handful of times they've really reached out and worked their ownership stake, right, extra Muppet fashion.
Right.
Because it's one thing when they're packaging their own stuff and sending that. That's fine. That's annoying, but that's, right, a message from these sponsors. Not the same as when they say, I don't give a shit who reads it, but have some number of your news staff read this.
Mm-hmm. Now, some local news stations try to fight back by playing these pieces at times that nobody's watching, or that there's very little viewership. But unfortunately, I think that's going to be harder going forward, right? Yeah. Because the companies are going to, Sinclair will pick up on that and probably try to force them, you have to play it during this time, that time,
checking
blah, blah, blah.
for that than it's ever been.
Exactly.
So, no, it's not good. And a lot of this has, Elizabeth Warren has been shouting about this for years, in terms of mergers have reduced our actual choices to a level that can start to concern some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, the fact that we were talking the other day about Amazon being bad.
Yep.
And, we were listening to another one of our podcasts that we enjoy, and they were talking about, this list of companies that use, prison labor. So these prisoners are getting paid $1.25, like nothing. They're getting paid slave wages to make products for, God, you don't even want to know the names of some of these companies. It's disturbing.
It's everything you use if you do any sort of business travel or pretty much go outside and buy things.
And I was listening to this list and I was like, there's absolutely no way I could avoid all of these places.
Yeah.
And again, even Amazon, like I try to minimize what I get from Amazon, but sometimes
I don't have as big a problem with prison labor, except for the horrifically low pay.
Well, and some of these people shouldn't even be in jail, and they are, and we've discussed that already. So that's my bigger problem.
So a thing that gets them out of their cell is worth a fair amount.
That's true too.
But Right, and at some level, like some skills, some other stuff. A lot of this is more that they're simply working the tax credit. So, right, they're dividing out whatever the tax credit is for a year and saying, fuck it, sure, that. It's the same trick we have for a number of the places that hire the genuinely disabled people, right? They're paid horrifically low wages.
You don't even want to know. They get paid shit. And the worst part is that they can't, there's nothing they can do about it. And it's hard because you're like, well, they should get paid what everybody else is getting paid. But kind of, sort of, if that was the case, then they wouldn't be getting hired, which is crap.
Yeah.
Too. So part of the incentive to hire these people is how cheap they are.
Yeah, and a tax credit. No, you're gonna find a lot of that in corporate behavior. At some level, that really is the right how you know the conservative line about corporations or people is bullshit.
Right.
Right, that humans don't maximize their turns that well. Humans aren't that good at identifying optimization and.
Right.
No, as far as the limiting of choices on media and stuff, I'm less concerned about that than several other effects we've already seen in terms of, right, ever smaller fish bowls, right, make the recruiting channels for some really scary things easier. And we start out pretty close to authoritarianism just by virtue of being Americans, which that's a good thing when we're using it for good.
Well, and again, it's, you know, one of the things that I think is important is, as we discuss pretty regularly, spread out where you're getting your sources. Don't just rely on CNN, NBC, MSNBC, ABC. Don't just rely on Fox. Don't just, you know, you got to look at a bunch of different places, and you have to remember that all of these companies are working for a profit.
Yep.
That's their goal. Their goal is money. So if they are pushing something, or if it sounds like they're talking really well about a thing,
Hey, and the stuff they talk bad about.
Yeah.
The easy example is the FBI's reporting that the TSA fails 95% of the tests. Yeah, I'm sure the FBI would love to tell us about how all of the federal agencies aren't very good at their job, and we should have the FBI do whatever that job is.
Right.
And same thing with corporations when they report, right, when you hear from somebody that GE didn't pay any corporate taxes this year. Cool, that's probably true. And whoever owns the news person you're listening to right now, well, not right now, but then.
Yeah, nobody owns us yet, folks. Keep that in mind. We'll let you know if that we'll let you know if that changes, but in the meantime,
we'll respond to all serious inquiries. Your money may vary, or mileage may vary.
Yeah, well, and again, like, I'm gonna be a hard sell on pushing anything, because some of my favorite, you know, YouTubers and podcasters push some products that I'm like, that sounds kind of cool, and then I'm like, fuck, they got me, you know, like, so.
Let's see.
No,
my concern's more structural than, right, any one of them, because I remember this fight before Sinclair got in the ring. Like, Sinclair is a response to some stuff, not... Right, it's a new horrible monster, and we should definitely start investing in silver bullets or whatever gets rid of those. But... we've seen the same thing over the last... When did it start sucking on the various you can buy or rent movie systems? Because everyone started pulling their content. That a decade ago?
Not even. No,
okay.
It wasn't that long ago. That was maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty recent.
That's very bad. I'm very sorry for all of you.
No, because I used to be able to watch all my stuff on Netflix and Hulu, and that was it. That's all I needed.
Hell's the fuck, yeah.
And then, you know, Comedy Central had to do their own thing. And initially it was fine because they weren't charging for it, and then they started being shitty about it.
Well, but that's what all of this is, right? Again, back to the social mediaification of all things great and small.
Right. And again, for me, my issue, like, my issue was I didn't have a problem watching one or two commercials throughout a half-hour show, right? Online or whatever, on your app, that's fine. And if that pays for it, great. But I don't want to have to pay you just to see the content.
Yeah.
When I know I can get it other places, completely legally, of course. Anyway. My point is that it's a little ridiculous for these companies to be doing this. Because, again, if they were charging $5 for, like, Disney Plus, maybe I'd consider it.
Yeah, but we're working up on Netflix being near 20.
Well, that's the other problem, is with Netflix going up and Hulu going up. I have my YouTube subscription on an old account because I don't want to change it over to my new account, because then I'll have to pay an extra $2 a month, and that's ridiculous.
No, I remember laughing when Comcast said they were going to get it up to a $200 a month cable bill, and fuck me, they're gonna.
Well, and before Google and YouTube became buddies, or, well, not before they became buddies, but before they separated themselves, I guess, is more what I'm going for here. Because I had a Google account that I paid money for, I got YouTube for free with no commercials. And then they separated that out, which was annoying as shit. So.
Yeah, they figured, right, enough people would pay both.
No, I didn't even know I was paying for this. Like, I don't even know how I got signed up for it. Because I never signed up for it. Google was just like, oh, no, it's fine. Put it on her account.
Willing to believe.
I just remember looking into it. I was like, I don't pay for that. And I looked into it one day and I was like, shit, I guess I do. Oops. But no, and it's this tricky shit, and it's a little disturbing. But what you need to remember is that if anything sounds too good to be true or too bad to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Look at everything, not at face value. I
Trust
guess
anyone over 30.
Yeah, seriously, don't.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially
absolutely for sale.
But the thing that you really want to watch for is if you find something in one place, Google it and look for it in other places.
Yes.
The more places, don't click on ads. Just go to our Patreon. You're fine. But what's important is knowing that, if only one place is covering it, and if you're trying to chase down where that information came from, and it takes you longer than a minute and a half, that's not a real thing. Because it shouldn't take you longer than a minute and a half to chase down a lead, right? Yeah. That's a real lead. So, because again, with a lot of my Googling, I get responses pretty quick, and I can say, okay, there's 4 of them that are saying this, there's 2 of them that are saying that, and there's only one that's saying this one thing.
Yep.
Huh. That's weird. One of these
you get a
things
feel
is not
for the
like
nonsense, new age, healthy, idiot websites. Right. Granola nut health dot anything, and I'm not that interested. No, if I've got a choice between that and say BBC, I'm absolutely going BBC.
Fair. No, and BBC
can make
is
me
good.
sort it faster is if it's a video. I'm not watching your fucking videos.
And you know what? The British get points for not allowing Fox News to call themselves news.
Oh yeah.
So, fuck yeah, good on them. We should do that here. Not because Fox News is bad, but because they tend to lie and use sites like Breitbart and OAN to back up their stories, and Breitbart and OAN don't tend to do real good investigative journaling. They just make shit up and then kind of pork roll on each other, like, so-and-so's reporting, so-and-so's reporting, so-and-so said blah, blah, blah. So they bounce off of each other, which allows a story to grow, which is not something you want.
And it allows them to cover the coverage, which means they aren't saying anything actionable, because they're reporting on other actions.
Mm-hmm.
So if their opinions
if you can't chase down where this started, I promise you it didn't start anywhere. It started there. So keep that in mind. Just approach a lot of your Googling with skepticism and knowledge
Fuck,
that
I'd be happy if I believed they were Googling. I think most people are just reading shit they see on Facebook or the Twitter or the Gram or who fucking cares.
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, I very regularly, when I find shit on Facebook, will Google it.
You're at the internet.
Yeah. Very regularly, because I'm like, I don't think that shit's true. And then I'll look it up and I'll be like, oh shit, it is. Look at that. Yeah. Or I'll be like, I was right. And, you know, it's always the same people. You kind of learn who on your feed is sharing bullshit.
Yeah, who's got a pipeline into the dump.
Exactly. And you can kind of see it unfold and where it came from and all that other stuff. Yeah. But be wary. Don't trust a meme just because...
Don't trust memes, period, fucking dot. They're
except ours. Ours are awesome.
Yeah, that's because they're made thoughtfully with love.
Our memes are truthful, factual, and full of hatred for dumb people.
Because you're special, the internet. You deserve nice things.
You deserve very nice things.
Handcrafted memes.
Mm-hmm. Especially by Risen and Asshole.
Yeah. Made with spite.
And hatred.
Yeah, a little bit. All the other good things in the internet.
And love and... Sparkles, very sparkles.
Sure,
whatever.
Topless photos of Betty White.
Whatever gets you going. Like, we have it, and we love you all. So, yeah. So that was our short dive.
Yeah.
Shallow dive. I think is where we were going.
Yeah.
But no, it was just kind of.
It's one of the apparently unintended casualties of the death of the monoculture.
Right. No, and I wanted to touch on it because this has been a big thing, and people have been really questioning who can I trust and who's going to tell me the truth and where is this and blah blah blah. So again, use your own, intelligence and second guess everything. If a story agrees with you, double check it. If a story disagrees with you, double check it. If a story sounds kind of somewhere in between and you're not really sure, fucking triple check it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're not spreading more false news or more fake news or more over-exaggerated, things that aren't really problems. Because that's a lot of what we're getting caught into. These micro things that are just so small. And then it bundles and bundles into that pork roll we were talking about. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my God, no straws. Straws are the plastic problem in the world. Yeah. Except all the other fucking plastic in the goddamn world.
No, if I'm going to go attributing, this side of cabal type conspiracy theories to it, more a pointless list of tasks, so it ends up all the level 2, level 1 quests you never got to.
Right.
When you're partially fused with the all of existence and I'm never going back there. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go kill 2 fucking bunnies. God damn it. How did I miss 2 bunnies? Anyway. So only reverse, right? Because we've seen when a corporate interest wants to make humans continue to play a video game or feel successful or whatever, we're really good at manufacturing that feeling.
No, it's like when I'm playing, Fallout Shelter and I just jump in to check on everybody real quick and then bail. And guaranteed something always fucking happens and I end up hanging out for another 15 minutes.
Bells and whistles go off and lights flash. Yeah. Right, I have the same stuff we know casinos use.
Yep.
So, I think a lot of corporate news is sort of the anti-that. Is this endless list of things that are wrong. Did you hear about the Doom Glacier and how it moved and this other thing? And here's a laundry list of stuff we're not gonna move to fix.
Yeah, here's stuff to worry about that nothing is being done about. And we don't want to do anything about it, but we're going to tell you about it so you can be worried about it so that you can get the wrong idea
or make
and then go
back.
Push for the wrong thing.
Will this Doom Glacier drown all of us? Find out other side of this commercial.
Right.
So, or Film at 11 or any of the other...
I hate those things because oftentimes... they'll have this big lead up.
Oh yeah.
And it's literally a 5-second story.
Again.
And you're like, You couldn't have just said that before the commercial? Why are we even talking about this?
Because news is nothing like news used to be. Like, as bad, like, as you know, Sundays are the worst. Sundays are like being on fire. And now you actually understand it because you're like, oh, this is nothing. Just nothing all day. There's not even like a dog show going on. They're like, there's fucking nothing.
This week has just been empty. I mean, yeah, Ukraine is bad, and we talk about that, but nothing like that we haven't already reported on has happened.
No new UN report, no official list of anything.
Yeah, there's just nothing exciting happening there. There's nothing going on with Trump. He's an idiot. Nothing going on with, anything except
Merrick Garland caught COVID.
yes, that's true. That is true. It's such a good thing. Makes my heart happy.
Okay. No, I think the media has figured out a lot of its jobs being handed off to dumber and less. I think we're basically seeing a litigation shield being built, right? That if real TV just covers the blogosphere and the coverage of things, they can't get sued. Right, that as we move less from real news and things to report than either a list of things we didn't fix.
Right.
Or gossip, effectively.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at how big that whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing became. We were talking about it for
another
fucking week.
Yep. And people were traumatized, and everyone had a fucking opinion.
Oh my God, just shut up. All y'all. I was so traumatized by watching Will Smith slap Chris Rock. It was traumatized.
Well, violence is never acceptable. Well, violence is acceptable a lot of times. As soon as violence is on the table, response violence is total. Anyway.
Sorry, I don't give a fuck what Will Smith does to Chris Rock or Chris Rock does to Will Smith. They can sort it out amongst themselves. They are grown-ass fucking men. I don't give a fuck.
I don't think it's the first time Chris Rock's been slapped.
If Chris Rock wanted to fucking call the cops, he would have.
Yep.
And that would have been sorted out in its own way. But I don't give. Why are we talking about it for fucking week and a half, 2 weeks now? Jeez.
Yeah. No, but
the memes were delightful.
To your previous point of, right, why the news still does the breathless thingy. They used to be able to report when we were kids. There were 2,200 murders in New York City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit to talk about, even if it was just horrible. Dog bites man.
No,
like
that
crime
was back
stories.
in the day when you for real had a chance of being grabbed off the street as a kid.
Yeah.
Like that's not
and
going to happen
we're talking
anymore.
about the 30% jump in murders. Yeah, from 400 to 600. Calm your fucking titties.
Yeah, we have not reached any sort of a peak of American violence in any manner. If anything, this has kind of just shown us like what's been, kind of boiling up underneath, and how do we fix this now?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I don't know how to explain to a lot of the Gen Zers. Like, you basically live in the nice parts of RoboCop, and I grew up in the world that explained why they were like, we need a walking tank human thing that just shoots whatever. Because we looked at this other one, and it blew the guy out the window of the thing, and that's probably not going to work. Yeah, legal says that's going to be a whole hassle.
No, we're from that stage where it was just a war zone.
Kind of, yeah.
That was us, yeah. And I came from a nice area.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly experience a lot of that directly, but it was there. It was all around me all the time. It was always in the back of your head. And
yeah. Well, for you, it would, it's one of those, your friend growing up with the dumb parents?
Yeah.
Like, them accidentally stepping through the wrong door and finding out, some horrible thing, like the whole world is whatever it is.
Right, and we went through the for real satanic panic. Like the real one.
I don't think so.
Yeah, where they were talking about. I remember my mom
60s.
was huge worried about it.
I think that's just a thing.
They did all kinds of stuff on TV and on the news every night about
we never stopped from the
and,
60s.
Oh well, for me, my
satanic panic leads to the cults. that covers us through Manson and some other stuff.
No, when I left
Yeah.
the Christian religion and started,
Yeah.
you know, deciding that maybe that wasn't for me, my mom was so worried I was going to join it. You're going to join a cult. They're going to kill you. And I used to watch documentaries on cults, and I was like, Mom, no, I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday.
No, but cults figured it out the same way, right? The Klan and every other thing that needs to recruit does, right? They look for kids who can't afford shit at a bus station.
Right.
And then they love bomb those kids. Mm-hmm. So, no,
No, it's like how Nazis,
That's more-
get,
yeah.
you know, femme people and gays and stuff on their side.
Oh, yeah. Well, that and I was surprised to learn that the furries had chased the fucking shithead ultra-right way over into their corner.
Oh, good.
Similar to the way the skinheads did. Or
Awesome.
the punk kids did.
Oh, yeah, punk kids were cool.
Yep.
Back in the day.
But, no,
Back when Hot Topic was actually Hot fucking Topic. And now it's just... God. We used to call it Goth in a Box. I think they call it something else now.
no idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh.
I'm not up to date on all the kids slang no more.
God.
No, I heard that bet is a new thing. Have you heard about that?
There's a bunch of it.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Like, if I was ever talking to my son and I said, you want to do a thing? And he said, bet, I'd be like, bet what? What? Huh? But I happened to stumble across it and I Googled it because I was like, what the fuck is this? And then it all made sense.
Excellent.
But anyway. All right. So I think that's it for tonight. But yeah, no, we just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, the world isn't falling down and you can trust, you know, whatever, but just always double check everything. End of
Don't
discussion.
be leery of the fucking people that want to sell you soap.